is 2022, and this is Amos Sewn 27. It's news, spelt differently. How is everybody today? Hope all well. Please say, oh, g'day Frank. Already got someone in the chat room. That's how cool is that. Things should be a bit better today. Hopefully I won't get any breakdowns or anything, because I've got a new internet thing. You know, one of those second internet bloody provider type things, so I'm getting babes with a bit of extra Wi-Fi things, because it's a mobile thing. So I might be getting fried a bit earlier. But anyway, let's get to the news for the day, shall we say. Anyway, sorry folks, I know these things at the moment, because otherwise I won't be able to hear what's going on. This is the way I'm doing it today anyway. So, while I'm here, I'll just check on the other computer, see if, oh look, apparently I'm on Twitch. It's just loading. Yes, that's happening. YouTube, I wonder if that's happening. Anyone over there at YouTube? It's not saying anything's happening. Or maybe I'll just refresh. That's the thing with YouTube, you refresh things and they come up. Get to the news real soon. I've got some great stories. Great stories. Oh look, there's live now. I'll click on that link because I'll want to get it all happening. I want us all having I'm testing the whole system today because, well, I've never had a system that worked before. So, but it seems to be good. Oh, what about D-Live? Been trying D-Live. D-Live's never really. Doesn't look like it's happening. Don't know what's going on there. Anyway, D-Live will be another thing to conquer. Anyway, now to the news on the, was it, what did I say, 26th? Let me, mouse is right. 28th. Couple of days on. Oh, do you like my shirt in the background? If you know that symbol, it's a place called the Crow House. Yes, look them up. Well worth a look. Anyway, we'll go back to, what about Twitch? Yeah, that's sort of happening. What about DK? Well, DK yet? No, DK's not playing yet, but that's okay. I'll have a chat with DK a bit later. I'm sure he'll be have something to say. But anyway, to the news. Actually, I need some iced tea first. Good old iced tea. Believe that. Well, anyway, news. Haha. Well, I'm just going to look at this one. You know that face? Probably, if you live in Mexico, south of the border, is in Victoria, you'd know all about him. And he's had a bit of a issue lately. He's been accused of knowing about corruption and doing nothing about it. Surely not. Anyway, let's have a little bit of a read anyway. Victorian see, great start. Victorian Ombudsman releases report on Labor Party's red shirt rorts. Red shirts. Oh dear. And they won't refer it to the IBAC, which is the police, I think. Something like that. Anyway, Victorian Ombudsman will not refer the Labor Party's so-called red shirts rorts to an anti-corruption watchdog to police after fresh reports into the scandal found no evidence Premier Dan facilitated the scheme. So he didn't start it, so therefore it's not his fault. But he knew about it, so I hear. But Deborah Glass has criticised Victorian Police handling of its 2018 investigation that said it should apologise to the 17 former Labor staff arrested in dramatic pre-dawn raids back in 2018. It's all over the news. You here in Australia might have remember it, unless it's Mandela effects happening. Who knows? Anyway, Victorian Parliament asked the Ombudsman to consider referring the red shirt scandal to the IBAC in February after sacked Minister Adam something or other, Adem, claimed Mr Andrews knew about the scheme in the lead up to the 2014 election. I keep on saying 19. I'm missing a century. Yes, anyway. It's time to end this debate, Mr. Glass said, end the debate. I shouldn't be starting debates. I cannot, of course, rule out that further evidence may come out to light, but the passage of time, just a bit of time, for time, and the difficulty of proof. I am not prepared to spend further public resources on this matter. In other words, well, anyway, in 2018, Mr. Glass found the Labor Party misused lots of money, nearly 400 grand, public money through the red shirts rorts to campaign the 2014 election. So imagine that, political parties just using the public money to get office. And well, it worked, didn't it? He's in office. How's that going since 2018? Actually, was he in office before? Was this Dan's first term? I don't really know. Come to think of it, I don't really care. But yeah, well, the anyway, get the screen back up. Of course, no. Anyway, look. But I never said it was a criminal. Yes, okay, I should read that bit. Yes. Ms. Glass said she did not find any significant difference in this investigation compared to the 2018 investigation. I concluded very clearly, I said it was wrong. I said it was I said it was an artifice. Anyway, I said 21 members of Parliament breached the members' guide, Ms. Glass told the ABC Parliament Radio. 21 members. 21 members, folks. You get that? You think that makes a difference? I don't know how many members they're having or anything like that, but 21 members broke the rules by, that's often something to do with money. But Mrs. Glass told the ABC News Radio, but I never said it was criminal. Yes, Mrs. Glass. Since the report was released, the Ombudsman said the only evidence that indicated Mr. Andrews had any involvement in the scheme came from statements made by Mr. Something or other, who claimed Mr. Andrews told him it was necessary for an election win. While Mr. Andrews openly confirms he was aware of the scheme, there is no evidence available showing me that he actually had any role in designing, propagating or facilitating it, Miss Glass said. Miss Glass, you look very a lovely lady, I'm sure. I'm sure you're getting well paid too. Anyway, some whatever his name, changed versions of events. Report says Mr. Some or other changed his version of events between his account of the conversation he had with Mr. Andrews and would not hand over emails which he said supported his claims. Surely, if there was a police presence and it was obviously something criminal went on, the police could get the bloody emails if there was an investigation. But anyway, that's the red shirts news story. I've had enough of that one. What else do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, I'll get back to that shortly. Oh yes, Queensland news. Yes. Queensland's 220 million Wellcamp quarantine facility to shut within days. Oh, we all feel better now. No need for quarantine, anything like that. Yeah, don't worry, that camp will get used again, I'm sure. Anyway, Queensland government say it no longer needed a dedicated quarantine centre with a multi-million-dollar Wellcamp facility to stop operating within days. On Wednesday, it was revealed government told total spending of the facility exceeded $220 million, $150 million on the lease, $9 million management cost, and $60 million on medical services. The state government had previously denied requests to reveal the cost of the quarantine centre, citing confidentiality of commercial agreements. And while I'm here, can someone write something in the chat room and tell me whether you can hear me, or I think that'd be good. Oh, here's the chat room. Sorry, I haven't been watching the chat right, so I'm just going to go through it. I got back to Frank. Frank, hey Frank. I should make a hot tea. Sounds really good. Yes, Frank. Yes. Oh, it. I don't know if you can get Ned's whiskey over there. Anyway, yes, okay. We just need to expose it. Yes, right. That's what we're doing. We're trying to expose things. Hopefully, people will share this news report, guys, because it well might reach someone. It might make someone change their mind about something. You know, I'm just hoping. Like most people who watch this are probably not preaching converted, but some maybe not. And I might just something educational watch. That's what I want, educational, entertaining to watch. And that's what I'm trying to do. Try to be entertaining. Whether it's working or not, you let me know. Anyway, names have been a big clue for the years. Yeah, you're all good, Alan, so sounds good. Laughing. Well, that's all I need to know. Well, thirsty work this. Anyway, enough of the. Let's get Brave happening again. There we go. Yeah, done with that one. Oh yes. Anyone heard of the World Health Organization? A lovely bunch of people. They're just all just doing what they can for our health. World Hepatitis Day. I wonder what that's about. Actually, I don't really care. I don't care. That's not what I'm here for. COVID pandemic, monkeypox outbreak. Well, let's look at that. I just saw a report that I couldn't find anywhere because it was like a week ago, and it was just saying how the World Health Organization this is an emergency. Emergency, folks. Not quite a pandemic, but it's coming. Yeah, overview. Since early May 2022, cases of monkeypox have been reported from countries where the disease is not endemic and continue to be reported in several endemic countries. Most confirmed cases with travel history reported that travel in countries Europe and North America rather than West or Central Africa, where the monkeypox virus is endemic. This is the first time that many monkeypox clusters have been reported concurrently in non-endemic and epidemic countries. Endemic. In a widely... trying to read. I'm getting better at it, I think. Anyway, most reported cases so far have been identified through sexual health or other health services in primary and secondary healthcare facilities and have involved mainly, but not exclusively, men who have sex with men. Let that sink in for a moment, folks. They're saying that people who are not the normal, shall we say, gay or bisexual or whatever they want to be, it's all their fault. Come on. Does that ring a bell? I remember back in the, the 80s, late 70s, there was a big pandemic thing called AIDS. Yes, that's exactly right, Frank. It sounds a lot similar, doesn't it? And it's not even a pandemic yet. Stay tuned to the World Health Organization. They'll just try to keep us safe. But I got nothing against gay people or fucking whatever he wants to do. Whatever you do, don't hurt anyone else. That's fine by me. It's good. No worries. We're free, or we should be free. So far, so good. Anyway, what else is news? Do we want to go any further into that? No. Let's just stop there. Who's that, is collaborating with health authorities to prevent further spread of disease. We are issuing guidance to help countries on surveillance, laboratory work, clinical care, infection prevention. How are we going to do that, I wonder? And control. There's that word, control. It's all about control, isn't it? World Health Organization, it's just real health. As well, at risk communication and community engagement to inform communities at risk and the broader general public about moneypox. That's what I like to call it, moneypox. Yeah, the monkey things, poor monkeys. They've got nothing to do with it. and how to keep safe. We're also working closely with countries in Africa, regional institutions and technical and financial partners to support efforts to bolster laboratory diagnostic disease surveillance, think that word again, something like control. Anyway, readiness and response to actions in prevent further infections. Well, I'm done with that shit show now. And now for something on the lighter side.
Fat and docile, big and dumb, they look so stupid, they aren't much fun. Cows aren't fun. They eat to grow, grow to die, die to be et at the hamburger fry. Cows well done.
Wonder if I'm doing a...
Nobody thunk it, nobody knew, no one imagined the great cow guru. Cows are one. He hid in the forest, read books with great zeal. He loved Che Guevara, a revolutionary veal. Cows say tongue. He spoke.
Wonder if I'm doing anything against copyright here. Hopefully not. But apparently if I break in and change things around a bit, might not be copyright. But if it isn't, good. If it is, well, I might be in trouble. Anyway, back to the music, folks.
Spoke about justice, but nobody cared. He felt like an outcast, alone in the herd. Cowdoll drums. He moved, we must fight, escape or we'll die. Cows gathered around, 'cause the stakes were so high. Bad cow pun.
I love it.
But then he was captured, stuffed into a crate, loaded onto a truck where he rode to his fate.
Where she pulled.
Cows are bummed. He was a scrawny calf who looked rather woozy. No one suspected he was packing an Uzi. Cows with guns. They came with a needle to stick in his thigh. He kicked for the groin. He pissed in their eye. Cow well hung. Knocked over a tractor and ran for the door. 6 gallons of gas flowed out on the floor. Run, cows, run. He picked up a bullhorn and jumped up on the hay. We are free-roving bovines. We run free today. We will fight for bovine freedom and hold our large heads high. We will run free with the buffalo or die. Cows with guns. They crashed the gate in a great stampede, tipped over milk truck, torched all the feed. Cows have fun. 60 police cars were piled in a heap, covered in cow pies, covered up deep. Much cow dung. Black smoke arising, darkening the day. 12 burning McDonald's. Have it your way. We will fight for bovine freedom and hold our large heads high. We will run free with the buffalo or die. Cows with guns. The president said, enough is enough. These uppity cattle, it's time to get tough. Cow dung flung. The newspapers gloated, folks sighed with relief. Tomorrow at noon they would all be ground beef. Cows on buns. The cows were surrounded, they waited and prayed. They mooed their last moos, they chewed their last hay. Cows outgunned. The order was given to turn cows to whoppers, enforced by the might of 10,000 coppers. But on the horizon surrounding the shoppers came the deafening roar of chickens in choppers. We will fight for bovine freedom and hold our large heads high. We will run free with the buffalo or die. Cows with guns.
Yeah, it's finished. Okay, right. Sorry, I had to go and, where am I? Trying to play something else. I better fix that before it does. Anyway, folks, that was just, I was going to play that a bit later because it felt like a bit of a laugh sort of thing, but, well, hope you liked it. It's, thank you, DK. You're talking to me? Anyway. What else is in the news? Well, I better look at your list. Haven't looked at it today. Did Dan's red shirts. I just bought a shirt the other day and it was a red shirt, funny enough. Had to wear it for today. Anyway. Oh, yes. I haven't got anything on the screen about this, but I saw this on the news recently. Talking about cows. Foot and mouth disease has taken hold in Australia, and they've got a cure for it. They're doing measures, and they'll probably do more measures to curtail a bit of freedoms and stuff here and there. But one of the things they're going to do, they're going to vux the cows. Yes, folks, vux. You know what a vux is, don't you? They're going to get it into you somehow. Well, hope not, you know. Well, instead of eating beef, because beef's a problem now, you can eat bugs. Bugs are good. Oh, Max. I got a video I'll play shortly of Max talking about bugs. And in that video, it's his latest show from the Crow House. And it's about... I've only just got a short section of it to play. I'll play in a minute, and well, I'll just chuck it on now that yeah. Now I've mentioned it. Here we go. Is that on the screen? Yes, it is. So let's. Come on, Max.
You into this smart system and break down the supply chain, so you're going to be eating their bugs and be happy about it. And in fact, you already are eating their bugs, folks, if you haven't really been reading the labels on things lately. Or maybe it might be time to start reading labels on packets. That's just the way it goes, you know, you're getting fed bugs. Putting them in the food, putting them in everything they can.
Let's
and
just watch Max.
Imagine it gets to the point where people are used to eating insects. I mean, you've got Angelina Jolie there eating insects in that video, and Nicole Kidman doing videos of eating bugs. Imagine where people get used to eating insects and they start just grabbing them live out of the garden and eating them. And there's parasites that get into insects. Hundreds, like thousands of parasites. They even say that, you know, insects are an unknown reservoir of parasites, of human and animal parasites contained in insects. There's one particular parasite that gets into, I think, crickets or grasshoppers or locusts or something, and it takes over their minds. It's a kind of almost like a hydra type parasite, and it takes over their minds and makes them do whatever the parasite wants them to do, and eventually the cricket will jump into a pond and drown itself once the parasite is fully grown, so the parasite can get out of the cricket's body.
These hairworms are gnarly parasites. They actually control a cricket's mind to get to their home, the water. The hairworm's journey starts innocently enough in a river as an egg. One of many in this long string. The eggs grow into squiggly larvae, which get eaten by a mayfly larva that also lives in the river. And inside the mayfly is exactly where the hairworm needs to be. The hairworm uses this pointy part to burrow into the mayfly's flesh. Then it curls up and waits. Because really, it's not after a mayfly, it's after a cricket. So it sits tight, while the mayfly larva turns into an adult and heads to dry land, where it just might get eaten by a cricket that has no idea what it's in for. Inside the cricket, the hairworm goes at it, eating all the cricket's stored up fat for about a month. The cricket loses its chirp, but the hairworm doesn't kill the cricket because the worm needs a lift.
Just thought I don't know if you heard that bit. That the body with the cricket that's got the worms in it loses its mind. Yes, through this parasites. Yes, that's a big word for the day, guys. Parasites. We've got a few around. You just got to know where they are and what they are. Anyway,
Back to the water.
back to the water.
Crickets usually avoid bodies of water. They're not great swimmers. So the worm takes over, boosting chemicals in the cricket's brain, which make the cricket walk around mindlessly until it happens to reach water. Scientists in France watch this infected cricket make a beeline for the pool. The hairworm makes a break for it.
Imagine when people start just eating crickets and eating grasshoppers and stuff like this, and they're full of these parasites that control your mind. It's going to be interesting. And what sort of zombies are we going to have running around when we see that happening, folks? I mean, maybe we already are. Maybe they're already putting these things into people, who knows? But it's pretty bizarre kind of a concept when you think of where this could actually go. Mexico is so beautiful, folks. Buenos dias. Mexico is such a beautiful place, folks. It really is. Have a look at this. It's just lovely. It just really is. I love Mexico. Just come out here in the mornings and have a bit of a stroll around. But yeah, pretty dramatic stuff, folks. And imagine, people eating these bugs, getting these parasites, and people's immune systems are completely breaking down. They really are. And even saying that, I mean, I don't know if we can really call them immune systems. It's more like your detox system. People's ability to detox is breaking down because of what they're doing with these jabs. And the real event is about to begin, folks, because the real event is going to be the mass die-off. And the mass die-off is really happening now. The hospitals in Australia are overwhelmed. They're saying it's COVID cases. Of course, it's not COVID cases. Everything they say is a COVID case is vaccine injury. Well, injection injury. I shouldn't honour it by calling it a vaccine. It's not a vaccine, it's an injection. And it has nothing to do with vaccinating anybody against anything. We are seeing massive amounts of pushbacks though, folks, which is good. Huge pushbacks in Sri Lanka and Panama and Greece and other places. Actually, there's a pretty good rollback of legislation that's happened in Canada.
So, breaking news coming out of Canada today. A judge has ruled that all the charges against Pastor Arthur and his brother and the injunctions will be completely dropped. And Alberta Health Services has to pay back the $16,000 in fines that he had to pay.
Know about this, do we?
As well, the Canadian military is now going to be hiring on unvaccinated. They're dropping all the vax mandates completely. This is a big win for Canada. We have to keep pushing forward. Eventually, The walls will fall around Trudeau, and he will sit for his crimes against the Canadian people. Forever forward, much love.
And that's good to see. I mean, hopefully that will be followed through a little bit and Justin Trudeau won't just be on the back foot. He'll actually get charged for his crimes. That will be a wonderful thing. And it's good to see judges actually making these decisions. I mean, not all judges are complete psychopaths. Many of them are compromised. Most of the ones in high positions are compromised. But it doesn't mean they're psychopaths. It just means they went out and partied one night and they got them in a compromising position and they photographed them. And that could be done in many ways, folks. You don't have to be a bad person. Just go out and have a couple of drinks and they slip something in your drink. Or hit you with scopolamine. I mean, there's all sorts of ways they can do this. Drug people, they don't even know they're in the situation that they're in, and then just get them in compromising positions with some young child or whatever, and they don't even know what they're doing. And suddenly you've got them. Some of them, of course, go willingly to places like Epstein's house and they participate in sexual activities. They get filmed and they get caught, and deservedly so. Then they get brown-stoned and they become a puppet, you know. But some of them, they can't get that way. Some of them don't want to be compromised. Some of them don't want to mess with children. So they take them out to another sort of dinner and they drug them, and then they film them with kids anyway. So, you know, but some of these people, I would say, would be getting to the point where, you know, it's just becoming too much for them and they're going to start speaking out. They're going to start ruling things in the right direction. Perhaps they've had family members die or whatever, you know. So it's good to see some of these judges, you know, almost breaking ranks by making these type of decisions, is what's been made in Canada. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see more of that. But pushbacks in all sorts of ways. In Switzerland, the farmers in Switzerland are actually doing what the Dutch farmers did, only they're putting up wanted posters as well.
This is Sri Lanka today, and this is the Dutch farmers and truckers today. The movement is escalating all over the world. And the first one who have pointed out the most wanted globalists are the Swiss people. These wanted people have caused problems in Sri Lanka, the Netherlands, and many other countries. The poster is still there on the street of Zurich, Switzerland. So far, this is what's happening in the Netherlands and around the world as we can. The Dutch truckers have answered the farmers' call for help, and together they're blocking many roads and highways in the Netherlands. The Dutch and German farmers have blocked both sides of the highway connecting Germany and the Netherlands.
And that's really good to see. Really good to see that happening. At least they're identifying the criminals. You know, and it's good to see these pushbacks happening, but the best thing people can do, as I've said so many times, is really get on with life. Get on with life. Get back to doing what it is you do. Get the supply chain back up and running. Just ignore the government guidelines, ignore the government dictates, and do the right thing. And all these cops and stuff, you know, they're demanding that if you're over 50, you have your jab or whatever. Break ranks. Break ranks and start pushing back against the government, folks. I mean, it would be great to see it happen while it still can happen, because if it doesn't happen, then pretty soon all of you are going to be replaced by robots and robot dogs and all this sort of bullshit. So you don't need police anymore. Once they've got the system in place, they don't need police. They don't need lawyers. They don't need judges. They don't need any of that stuff. Once they've got the social credit system in place, your punishment, should you commit a crime, and the crime of dropping below certain social credit points, you know, if you do certain things, it'll all be under surveillance. Everything you do, everywhere you go, will be under surveillance. There's an investigation being launched into Bunnings and Kmart and the Good Guys in Australia because they're using biometric surveillance in their stores. And of course, they're saying they're doing this because, you know, to prevent crime, you know, people stealing from their shops. No, so the police can use their system. So the police can be sitting in some office somewhere and they can be looking at Kmart security system. They're not even looking at it. There'll be an algorithm that will just send them a little pop-up on their desk, on their computer, that someone of interest has just walked into Kmart. Could be someone who hasn't paid their taxes, or someone who has an unpaid parking fine, or anything. A criminal, you know. And the police will be alerted that this person's just walked into this department store, and then they will send their guards around to go and arrest this person because they're a person of interest. They want to have a chat to them. Or it could be that, and when they do that, there won't even be cops making the decision, it will be the algorithm. You know, if the algorithm determines that you're a person of interest and then it alerts the local authorities to the fact that you're in this particular department store or whatever, buenos dias, then the punishment's already going to be determined by the algorithm. See, if you've got a social credit score, you know, 1 to 100 or whatever it is they're going to do, you know, and you drop below a certain level, when you get to a certain level, you're going to have to go to a certain place to be re-educated. You know, a correction centre to, you know, re-educate you and retrain you into how to live in the world. And it'll all already be determined by your social credit points. And then if you misbehave while you're in there, I mean, you'll be dealing with little robots. You won't be dealing with real people. You'll be
Hey folks, I just thought I'd stop Max there because, well, as he does, he's rambling on a bit. But what do you think about that little crickets, 4 little crickets? And yeah, what are you eating? You want to have a munch down on some bugs? Oh, look, got a call. I'll have to answer that. DK. Hello, DK.
Hey bud, how's it going?
Hey, mate. Yeah. Sorry.
Let me just that shit. Yeah, sorry.
Just 2 computers running the same sort of thing.
Yeah. It's alright. There's less. Yeah. See, all I have to do is plug headphones in.
Yeah,
and then, that'll run fine. Yeah.
Well, that's what I've doing at the
No,
moment.
not into the one that I'm using right now. Just into my stream. I just plug headphones in on mute.
Yeah.
So it keeps playing at the same volume.
Yep.
But doesn't affect anything.
Yeah.
The headphones have a weird volume control thing on it. Like they're crappy like Xbox headphones.
All right.
Like, really crappy old Xbox 360 headset things that only have 1 speaker sort of thing. I plug that in and just turn it on to like 0 so that like my stream can just keep hearing what's going on and it doesn't interfere with me talking to anyone else.
All right. Well, you see if you can chuck your camera on so we can see. So all I can see is you're busy at the moment. My camera's obviously busy, but might be able to get you on the screen if you want to join us on screen.
Yeah, all good, man. Thanks.
You're a pretty smiling face.
Let's see how your new equipment and shit is holding up.
Well, it's not the
See,
equipment; it's more the access.
Mention that on the stream. You should have mentioned that. You should have said, "I've got some new stuff and I'm testing it out. I want to see how this goes."
You obviously, I did mention that in the first minute or so of the show.
Oh, did you? I got here at about 4 minutes, I think.
Yeah, well, I did mention that because of course I would. I'm boasting. I've got a show that's sort of working. Just got to get the content right now.
Oh, that's what I said. We tested it out on Skype. Was it last night or the night before?
Yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah. Tested it out, and I was like, dude, this works heaps better.
Yeah, it does.
Everything's great. This is cool.
Yeah, this is.
So I hope this works. Like, hopefully, this keeps it up for your show, and you don't overload it. Like,
well,
that was
right.
it.
No, well,
yeah.
The thing is, at the moment, I'm running both computers on this new fucking box thing I've got, and they're both connected with Ethernet cables to the from the computers to the bizzo. So it's.
I get you. So the Wi-Fi goes to the router or modem or whatever.
Yeah, and then
Ethernet
cables straight to the computer.
Yeah.
So a couple of less EM waves or whatever it is. Because let's face it, with this thing, if I leave it on all the time, it's basically flooding me with the radiation, isn't it? I think you'd know more about this than me.
Yes. Yeah. Because there's Wi-Fi coming to that router. Yeah.
Yeah. So
even though I use Ethernet cables, it's like there's still everyone's phones and everything in the house.
Yep.
So there's still Wi-Fi floating around everywhere.
Yeah. So what I think I'm going to do.
All you're really doing is making your connection better.
Yeah.
It's not really reducing much. It might be reducing a little because the Wi-Fi signal doesn't go to the computers that you're sitting right in front of as much now. But it still will be going there. It just won't be as much now because it's connected through the cable.
Here's a little thing. I had the modem thing just next to my TV in the lounge room, right? And all of a sudden, the TV was cutting in and out, and then I moved it away, and it sort of stopped it though. So there's a radio situation thing anyway.
At least it didn't do that big rainbow bend at the side of it that the old TVs used to do. It was like, oh,
yeah, I remember that.
magnet beside it. Oh, fuck. Yeah, a magnet is electromagnetic frequencies.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So you can't test it with a new screen. It just cuts out.
Yeah, right.
See, the new TV's just cut out. If you've got an old TV, you could probably actually go and test that by moving your router or modem near to an old TV and see if it does that rainbow thing on it, and see if it's actually putting out that much magnetic waves of
Well,
that frequency.
the old TV I've got, like this one behind me, that's a newish sort of one.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean
but
like the old ones with a tube.
The
Yeah,
tube,
no,
yeah,
not-
and the other old one, which is about 15 years old, but it is a flat screen, so it's.
I actually think I've got one downstairs. I don't know if it works, but I don't know if I can move my modem close enough to it or anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually have to see if I can test that. I might try and record that and do that myself.
Why not? Yeah.
I really actually do have an old one. It's sitting in my son's room. He's
Yeah.
got another one that he doesn't use.
Yeah. As you do, yeah.
Yeah, he just stares at his laptop, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah. What do
I
you do?
can
What do you do all day? Like father, like son, is it?
Yeah, no, but I can give you a cable so you can put it on the TV screen and it's bigger and stuff. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Nah, I just stare at this. Okay. So yeah, he just stares at the laptops in front of him instead of like actually putting it on the screen, like on his TV and stuff.
Yeah. Well, gee, I'll tell you what. So, what's happening in New Zealand at the moment? Yeah, give us a New Zealand report.
Oh, the newest one is Ashley Bloomfield. I don't even know what the fuck it's considered a minister of anymore. Might be health, could be climate. I don't even fucking know.
Yeah.
But anyway, apparently they're now trying to push for every region in New Zealand to put fluoride into their water. Because apparently, like, I didn't realize, I thought they already had put it everywhere. But apparently there's still a lot of places that don't have it. Nelson is kicking up the biggest stink, so it would seem.
Yeah.
They're fully against it.
Yeah.
They're fully against it. And that was like the big main thing was like, Nelson's against it. And then you read through it and it was like, oh, they're trying to do it to how many other places?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, yeah, fluoride's all over the place, really. Like, let's face it, look at my teeth. I drink water.
No, but it's not that. It's like here's the issue. It's
Had nothing to do with
how
teeth.
can a dentist? No. This will really fuck with your head. They're promoting fluoride, so dentists will be happy, and yet dentists promote fluoride, saying it's better for your teeth, when that is like the only promotion anywhere that is detrimental to their own business. Why would you promote something that stops you actually making money?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's just.
So that's no. So
it's another inversion, mate.
So
It's another
straight
inversion.
Away, so straight away, as soon as it's on like mainstream media and it promotes something, I try to find out what it really means.
Yeah.
And fluoride is basically fluoride is one of the most poisonous substances on the planet. By the way,
Yeah.
just in case people don't know, it is actually one of the most poisonous substances on the planet.
Isn't it
Go read the side of your tooth.
Isn't it a byproduct of something else, or is certain byproducts?
Yeah, but I think it might be, but I can't remember what.
Yeah,
But anyway, go look at the side of your toothpaste packet or your toothpaste tube, and it'll say, if ingested, immediately call poison center. I actually went and checked this. I'm not shitting you.
Yeah.
I actually went and checked this myself. This was on like a video that someone posted to me online. I'm like, I got a vague feeling I've seen that. And I actually went and checked. I'm like, yeah. Call your poison center or call your doctor or it's got like like wow. Yeah. It's one of the most poison because it contains fluoride. It's one of the most poisonous substances on the planet. It retards brain growth or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's something to do with cognitive ability and neurological function. Anyway, that's what fluoride fucks with.
Well, apparently the Germans, because I don't want to say the every other word in World War II, used it to dumb down their prisoners, sort of thing. And like I don't want to get into the whole World War II thing because. Seen a lot of shit about that
because
recently.
You know
that's really suspicious.
Because
but anyway,
what
isn't? But the thing is, they used it back then, and it's been used ever since. Like you've had some great shows about the subject recently, and well, they were quite interesting. World War II wasn't what it appears to be, folks.
But see, as I keep saying though, it's like you have to watch all of this documentary all the way through. And then all of the next documentary all the way through, because I try and play things that show opposing views.
Yeah.
I do not try to promote anything. I'm trying to just put forth education.
That's right.
This is the thing. People actually think because I play one thing and they don't stick around, that I'm actually promoting shit.
Yeah.
They don't stick around. It's like, no, I try and show as much as I can because everything is up for each person to make up their own mind.
That's right.
That's how you judge whether or not. That's how you judge whether or not someone is awake or not yet.
And that's one of the things I appreciate about your show, because there's always something on there challenging to the mind. And yeah, you do show both sides. And folks, if you're not a DK person already and you haven't heard of DK, watch his shows, or just put his channel on, because he doesn't really save his shows. But anyway, he's on YouTube and everything. But his Twitch show, yeah, mate, it's great entertainment at the very least. Doesn't always play the hard stuff. Sometimes he plays music. He plays some music. Like I can't say I totally agree with all his tastes, but then again, we're not supposed to think the same, are we? That's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to play some music too one day.
That's right.
Well, I just did actually, didn't
Never
I?
be upset.
Yeah, I just did, didn't I? I did
never
Cows
be
and Guns. You're breaking up a bit.
But never be upset about the fact you don't think the same as everyone else.
Fucking oath.
Never be upset about that.
No, you revel in it, basically.
If you think like everyone else, you'd be wearing a mask and taking your jab.
Yeah. I've run out of tea. So if you want to chat about something for a minute, I'll be back in a moment.
Fuck, give me a topic first. Holy
Okay,
shit.
South America. Chile. I read something in the news about Chile today.
South America, I don't know if it's exactly Chile, but I think it might be Venezuela.
Yeah.
As apparently, where you go. Where you go now.
Okay, you got a subject, I'll be back. Now I can't hear you.
Venezuela, I believe, was the first country in the world that tried to adopt a national cryptocurrency, which, seeing as Brazil is one of the countries that is not deemed, is deemed to be under Western control. Out of all of South America, Brazil is the one that's considered more westernized. So for them to develop it first is an issue for all surrounding nations and the rest of the world. And now there's starting to be other countries that are adopting this cryptocurrency thing globally. And I believe this is doing nothing but trying to usher in the social credit score, the global economy, global world government, everything that Agenda 30 is pointing toward. I believe this is exactly what they're doing, and this is just one of the steps that needed to be taken. They had to start somewhere. I mean, they started with the largest, I believe, I could be wrong, I believe Brazil is the largest, but maybe it's Argentina, I'm not sure. But I believe Brazil is the largest country in South America, and it's the most westernized, so they started there, thinking developed enough, but still such a low socioeconomic system that they'd be able to push it on them by offering money for them to do it. So yeah, we'll give you and your country this much money if you usher in the cryptocurrency.
Well, yeah. What was that about Venezuela?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a little issue there. While I went to the fridge, I took my headphones off and I couldn't hear anything you said. So I'll have to watch the show myself again later to find out. But anyway, the other bit of news I have from South America, South America, some Polly in Chile. He was a freedom fighter type person or something like that, and but it was very popular and stuff, and he got voted into Parliament, and that was a couple of years ago, and all of a sudden the establishment's going after him for corruption and all sorts of stuff, and he's been getting kicked out of office, and I only briefly read a bit of the story, and I'm probably wrong about certain facts, but the thing is, how surprising is that, and how often do you hear about that sort of shit?
Actually, I hear about it quite a bit.
Yeah, because you're
amazed about.
Because you're a news hound.
No, but you'd be amazed how many prime ministers, presidents, premiers, whatever name they give to the person who's leading their country. You'd be amazed how many of them have been assassinated or resigned in the last 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 years. I think the first one started in 2019. He must have realized early, and he got assassinated at like late 2019, I think. Some African president. I can't remember. Yeah. Yeah. And, we're up to like over a dozen in the last 3 years. Like it's not one or two. There's people getting killed and resigning all over the planet because either they go along with the NWO or they resign or they get killed.
Yeah. Tell you, why would you want to get into public office? Do you know what the problem is? Which is self-evident, really. It's the system. The system we have is just overly corrupt. Like, corruption generally isn't a bad thing. Corruption is part of human nature. But just the extremes of it these days is what it is. I had a conversation down the bowling club yesterday with a bloke playing lawn bowls. Great game, guys. You should try it. And we were just talking about the world affairs and things like that. And he said, oh, we've got a new government now here in Australia and hopefully things will get better sort of thing. And I was sort of saying, mate, you still don't get it, do you? It's not the politicians. Like, you change the government here and there and it does make no difference because they're all got to follow an agenda. But it's the system
they're all
that
paid
is
by
the
the
problem.
same people to do
It is
the
the
same
system.
thing. Yep.
It is the system that we live under that is the problem. It's the underlying, we spend time talking about news reports and all those sort of things.
To be honest,
but the main problem is the system. It's not what you see in the news, what you see on this show, what you see in any show. It's the system. And I've got no main answers on how to fix it, but I've got a couple of ideas. And we should do a show one day about ideas, DK. And we'll do a show about talking about ideas and how to fix things.
That'll get us banned.
I can't wait. What? Not for
no, but the thing is, it's not. Here's the thing: if the system functioned as it was supposed to, without corruption, it would work. So what it really comes down to is simply the corruption and the greed. Because, I mean, someone's getting paid more, someone's getting, believing lies and shit, the media propaganda. That's it. It's whatever story's getting pushed seems to be believed rather than the truth. And facts don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
This is the problem. I believe the system could actually function if it was allowed to function properly and the people were allowed to revolt against the system when it fails.
Part of the thing is too that I think is because the fact that the people that get into power there should be some way of stopping them from being outwardly influenced or inwardly, from the people that, like the corporations and the churches, and there's got to be a way of stopping the influence that they get put under.
Yeah.
They should be able to go
The
on what
lobbyists.
they think.
Yeah.
What they
Should
think.
be,
They get voted in
lobbyists.
to be to serve their constituents, and they should be able to serve their constituents because that's what it's all about, and not rely on handouts. There should be like against the law to get handouts and get advice from I don't know. You'd have to work out a
from
list, wouldn't you?
influences. Yeah, from outside influences. I know what you mean.
Outside
It should
like,
be, and this is why. Hey, hang on a sec. I actually do know a wee bit about this, man. It's like this is why originally politicians went into office and they were not paid.
yeah.
It's like they actually had to take office because they were basically pushed into that position because people thought they were leaders of their community and things. But then, once it became more and more people who were doing it, and they weren't getting paid for doing it, people started paying them and influencing them.
Yeah.
So that's why politicians actually started getting paid wages and shit, or salaries or whatever. That's why politicians actually started getting paid to stop them accepting shit from lobbyists. Now they get paid and still accept the shit from lobbyists.
Yeah, that's right. And that is main problem. Because, I agree with that point. Because our basic system, like, could work well. Could work well. If
Damn it, why do I have more relevant points on your show than I do on mine? What the shit?
Yeah, well, actually, how many watches have we got? I got one watching on YouTube. Yeah, and there's three on my channel.
Twitch and another
And you got
three on your
five.
Twitch, another 5 on mine.
Yeah, well, there's not another because a couple of them are probably watching both at once. I don't know. Would they? Don't know.
Yeah, Frank probably is. Yeah.
Yeah, Frank. G'day, Frank. Actually,
Everywhere, that guy.
I just had a new bloke on YouTube have a word. River R table. First message was to get this freedom. I love that freedom.
No, it's actually freedom. It's actually yelling out freedom. It's not free doom. People mistake that.
Right. Well.
Yeah, no, it's actually yelling out freedom and stretching out the word. It's straight out of Braveheart. See, people take that wrong. That's actually yelling out freedom. Yes.
Okay, I stand corrected, but I think it's a good laugh, the free doom. Well, because that's what the world's got at the moment. The doom is for free.
Yeah, I know.
Actually, no.
Yeah.
No, I'm wrong there because they're making us pay for our doom.
Yes.
Free doom.
Your dinner's not free. It will cost you.
Free doom. That's a good one, that one.
Oh, dude, you're gonna trademark that shit.
Here we go. What's this? Free.
I'm gonna use
Frank,
it.
hey, wait, I love this comment. Freedom. How dumb do you think we are?
I've used yeah, no,
Freedom.
I really have.
You got to get free doom, and then you're free dumb.
I've used free dumb lots, but free doom is like new. Yeah, I was like, I like that. I think Vinny will like it too.
Yeah, right.
I actually do. I think.
Actually, well,
that as well.
Wonder if I could fucking call him at the same time. Wonder if he'd be.
Yeah, it's only 10 to 5. Yeah, should be good.
Well, I'll try call him, see what happens.
I don't know.
Yeah, don't know. Yeah, who knows what's gonna happen? Whoop. Oh, I think I just hung up on you. I think I just hung up on you. Nothing happened there. You there? No, that worked. I think I stuffed something up, folks. Lost OK, but on hold. How do I get him off hold? I'll work it out soon. I'll just hang up and... Alright. Exit out of that. Bring it back. Fuck off. What's going on here? Okay. Call in the Conspiracies. Give him a call again. Resume call. Hello.
Hey, bud.
Yeah, stuffed that one up, didn't I?
Oh, wait.
No,
You put me on hold as I was about to say it. Wait, no, I'll tell you why. You put me on hold as I was about to say it.
Yeah.
It's because we're on a private chat. It's just one-to-one. You didn't set up a group chat channel to be able to invite other people.
Right. Okay.
That's why, that's why everything will stuff up. Yeah, you actually have to set up a group chat to be able to invite other people and things.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely organise that for the next show. Yeah, because this is
Yeah.
Yeah, because this has been a pretty,
see,
good show so far.
I don't even know exactly how to do it myself, but I know that's the difference.
I've seen the links on the page. Actually,
but on Jaffe's show, it happened all the time. Because he'd have to set up a group chat. If he was just talking to one person and I tried to ring in, he couldn't get on the show. And he actually had to get them to leave a channel, set up a new channel, so that we could all get on the show and talk.
Right, yeah.
So that was one of the earlier, about the third or fourth time that I was on his show or something. It was quite early on.
Yeah.
And there was him and someone else were talking and he asked me to jump on and things. Yeah. And couldn't sort it out. He actually had to get them to leave and start a new group channel for more than one person to talk.
Yep. Yeah, well, that's that'll be for the next show. So there was one other thing that I just found that I was sort of looking at before. It was actually, I got a bit of time because I've got to go down to the bowling club about half an hour. I'm a director down the bowling club now. I don't got to go, but I do got to go because we're having a meeting. We're having this mega raffle. So I think I'm on the organising committee and fucking fuck hell, I'm acting like a grown up. Someone slapped me. Anyway, there was this thing I was looking at. It was a David Icke thing.
Yeah.
And it was a little thing about the Vuxes actually. And it might get me in trouble, but I'm going to play might be about 10 minutes worth or something. I got the video started. I'm starting it with they have an ad at the start for Faraday gear, which is a good thing sort of thing.
The ad goes for a minute and a half.
Yeah, I know, but I've stopped it just at the end of the ad.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Okay, hopefully.
Yeah. I worked out the ad goes for a minute and a half.
Okay, so
because I watched.
I'll see if I can get that up on the screen. Yep, that's on screen. Okay. I'll just press play when I find the right button.
Now it's just going to look like I'm looking sideways because I have to look at the other screen to watch that.
Yeah,
so let's come now to the stories this week. They're always there, every week. About the effect of these fake vaccines. And first of all, I'm going to start with a video of a British funeral director. Many people watching the show,
I'm going to be here for a while this video's on so I can watch it.
And he's been very vocal in pointing out the death impact of the fake vaccines coming through his funeral business. And this video is him showing an example of what has been found in the bodies of the fake vaccinated. And I can tell you, it's shocking.
The last 3 weeks I've looked after 3 people under 30. On Friday I looked after a guy who died suddenly and he had a post-mortem. So we were kind of waiting for a sudden death in a youngster that had a post-mortem to take a closer look. Now, the post-mortem process, I don't know if you're aware or not, but they basically take all the organs out and they do whatever they need to do with the organs, weigh them, take slides and blocks, and then they put them back in a bag, and the bag is put back in the cavity, sometimes with the brain, and then they sew the cavity up. Now, obviously, the arterial system in that person is being compromised, so you can't do a traditional embalming. It's quite invasive, so you have to open the cavity, take the organs out, and source the individual arteries that have been severed. So the ephemeral arteries down both legs, the radial ones down the arms, and the carotid to both sides. And it was straight away the embalmer saw all this crap hanging out of this person's arteries. And I'm going to hold it up. This is a glass of formaldehyde with just some that were pulled out of the arteries to get the pump in, because it was blocking. I don't know if you can see it very clearly. Yeah, let me turn the background blur off 1 second. Change the video background.
Yeah,
okay,
and
so that should be better. So you can see there.
Definitely. Wow.
Yeah.
Daria, are you looking at this?
So you see the thick one here. This one here came out of the aorta from the heart. They take the shape of the vessels that they're growing in totally, and they gradually fill the vessels as they grow. And these, obviously, that's what's killed him.
You see what they're pulling out of the bodies of the fake vaccinated who've died. And then you look at these doctors, well, they're not, and these other health officials, they're not, saying, we don't understand why there's so many excess deaths and why people just dropping dead in this adult death syndrome that suddenly appeared. Well, I think what he has just shown us might just give us an indication of why it's happening. And I know, let's give a royal award to one of the people that told people to have it because it was safe and effective. That's a good idea. And that's not taking the piss at all. Chile, higher vaccination rate than UK, large spike in excess mortality. Head spinning, FDA quietly grants full approval of Pfizer community vaccine, fake vaccine, for adolescents. That's 12 through 15 years old. And of course, that means some of those will not survive and others will have their health devastated because we're dealing with psychopaths.
Yep, that was enough of that one for now, folks. I thought, it was just a little sort of to show the pictures. Going back on, mate.
Because we.
You there?
Yeah, all good.
No, that was yeah. What are those? What about those little things in the jar, eh? Yeah, no one's really surprised, are they? And this is what they're doing to us.
To be honest, no. To be honest, that has surprised everyone. Like, do not think no one was surprised. Everyone thought it's like, oh, people are going to get sick and shit. No one thought that was going to be like something.
Yeah.
Like, no one thought all their blood was just going to coagulate into these solid things that they'd actually have to pull out of your veins when you die. No one thought this. No one thought this was a possibility.
Yeah, well, that's related to what.
This takes blood clot to like a level that isn't blood clot.
Yeah.
This is a growth that's this is a growth that's infesting, infests arteries, veins, and then like travels off into capillaries and everything.
Yeah, well, like the show I did earlier about the crickets. It's all sort of related, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, I think I've put together quite a show that's quite actually good today. I think it's all related and it's good and relevant. It's relevant. So
Oh,
yeah.
that's that. You do know that. Hey, you do know that when I'm on someone else's show, I generally try and stay on topic and things.
Yeah,
It's
I
only
know.
mine that's all over the
That's
place.
why you're on, mate. That's why you're on, mate. Because you're a wealth of knowledge, and well, we get on. We're obviously fucking good mates, sort of thing, and well, because you are you're helping me, and I'm helping you get the message out.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
100%. Yeah.
and
100%.
so yeah. But anyway, it's time to wrap it up because I'm gonna got things to do. People to see.
Just because you need to go drink more beer.
Oh no,
He needs to go drink more beer. The Volvo.
Yeah,
Bloody hell.
That's just one of the consequences. It's not the real reason. Well, maybe it is. No, but yeah, I've got to prepare that, and I've got to like. We've been going for over an hour now. It's an hour and 11 minutes at the moment, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, man. There's
and
111. Yeah.
Amos Sewn, 27.
Did you
It's
say
best one yet.
111? That's New Zealand's emergency number.
No, Amos Sewn, 27. I said. What?
No, you said we've been going for 111 minutes or 1 hour and 11 minutes or something.
Yeah. I did say that. Well,
Yeah.
emergency, folks.
There's New Zealand's
There's
emergency number.
Yeah, it's
Damn it.
it's triple O and Australia.
What
We
am I
haven't
going to be in
advanced to triple one.
trouble
Anyway,
what
DK.
am I going to be in trouble for now?
Oh yeah. Anyway, mate, it's time to hang up. So I'm going to wrap up.
I'll tell you what, hey, he's gone, but I'm not. So jump onto my channel afterwards because I'm still going to keep going.
Yeah. Well,
So-
that's right, folks. DK is on
Much love.
24/7.
Yeah. See, I don't advertise till the end of anyone's show. It's like I never advertise myself during anyone's show. It's like I don't. It's just some rule. But if you're finishing,
Yep. So
I don't have a problem with going. Well, if you've got
give
nothing
yourself a
else to
plug.
do, come and see what I'm doing.
Give yourself a plug. Go on.
Sorry, say that again.
Give yourself a plug.
It's on Twitch. Yeah, it's on Twitch. DK Spiracy. I'll drop that. Shit, I should just drop the link.
Yeah,
But
don't-
yeah, DK Spiracy on Twitch anyway. I do have a Discord channel and a
Don't-
Telegram channel.
don't
If
worry,
you
I'll
get on, if you get on to my Twitch channel, I'll be able to give you all the links to everything anyway.
Yeah, well,
So
I just
see
dropped
you
your
there
Twitch link
after
anyway.
our-
Sorry?
Much love. No fear.
Yep. Cheers, mate.
Bye.
Alright. Alright, okay. Let's get him out of the way. Well, what a fun-filled show that's been today. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Mate, it was like, hopefully, no glitches. It's all gone pretty well because of new technology. Actually, it's old technology, 4G. I've got the hopefully the bandwidth to do the show. Hey folks, that'll be it for today on the 28th day of the 7th month, 2022. This was Amos Sewn, 27. It's news, spelt differently. Be good to yourselves, folks. Be good to your people you know, and be good to the people that you don't know. People you don't know what they're going through, but you see someone on the street, you lock eyes with them, be positive, because they are going through stuff. We're all going through stuff. Except for me, I'm living the dream. Anyway, much love, no fear. In Lakesh.